1. The provocation: what if the future isn't something we're moving toward, but something being calculated in advance, and quietly steered into existence? Every second, artificial intelligence systems analyze our behavior. They predict what we'll buy, who we'll vote for, where crime will happen, which stocks will rise, which videos will go viral. But here's the unsettling truth: when a prediction influences the system it's predicting, it stops being neutral. It becomes causal. In physics, this is called the observer effect. The act of measuring a system changes it. In the age of AI, we are the system, and the observers are algorithms. 2. From physics to society. In quantum mechanics, particles behave differently when observed. The famous double-slit experiment revealed that light acts like a wave, until measured. Then it behaves like a particle. Observation collapses possibility into outcome. Now consider society. When human behavior is predicted at scale, and those predictions are fed back into decision-making systems, the prediction itself becomes a force. This idea isn't new. In 1948, sociologist Robert K. Merton described the self-fulfilling prophecy, a false definition of a situation that evokes behavior which makes the originally false conception come true. Today, AI has industrialized that phenomenon. 3. Reflexivity. In financial markets. Financial markets offer the clearest example. More than 70% of US equity trading volume is now driven by algorithmic systems. These models predict short-term price movements using massive datasets, price history, news sentiment, volatility patterns. But as investor and philosopher George Soros argued through his theory of reflexivity, markets are not passive mirrors of reality. Participants' expectations influence fundamentals. If enough AI systems predict a downturn, they sell. Selling lowers prices. Lower prices validate the prediction. In 2010, the flash crash wiped nearly $1 trillion in market value within minutes, largely due to automated feedback loops between high-frequency trading systems. No human conspiracy. Just machines reacting to each other's expectations. Prediction became event. 4. The attention now shift from finance to attention. Platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok rely on predictive models trained to maximize engagement. Internal research from major social platforms has shown that emotionally arousing content, especially outrage, drives higher interaction. The algorithm predicts what will hold attention. It promotes that content. Creators adapt to the algorithm's incentives. Over time, discourse polarizes. A 2018 study published in Science found that false news spread significantly faster and further than true news on social platforms, partly because novelty and emotional intensity drive sharing. When prediction optimizes for engagement, it reshapes the emotional climate of society. The algorithm does not merely reflect what we like. It teaches us what to become. 5. Cambridge Analytica and behavioral. In 2016, the world became aware of Cambridge Analytica. The firm used harvested social media data to build psychological profiles of millions of voters. These profiles were used to predict susceptibility to specific political messaging. Then those predictions shaped which messages people received. This wasn't mass persuasion. It was precision targeting. The prediction of personality traits became the basis for behavioral nudging. When citizens receive different realities tailored to predicted vulnerabilities, democracy itself becomes asymmetrically informed. The forecast becomes influence. 6. Predictive policing and structural feedback. Predictive policing tools use historical crime data to forecast where crime is likely to occur. But crime data is not neutral. It reflects where policing has historically been concentrated. If more officers are sent to a predicted hotspot, more infractions are recorded. The new data reinforces the algorithm's assumption. Multiple academic audits of predictive policing systems have found evidence of reinforcement loops that disproportionately target certain neighborhoods. The system is not predicting crime in isolation. It is predicting recorded crime, and then increasing the recording. The observer effect becomes institutionalized. 7. Credit, hiring, and statistical AI increasingly determines who receives loans, insurance, housing, or employment opportunities. Amazon once experimented with an AI hiring system that was later scrapped after researchers discovered it penalized resumes containing indicators associated with women, because it was trained on historical hiring data. History became bias. Bias became prediction. Prediction influenced opportunity. In credit scoring, predictive models assess financial risk using correlations across thousands of variables. If someone is predicted to be high risk, they may face higher interest rates or denial. Reduced opportunity can increase financial instability. Instability validates the risk classification. This is statistical identity, where your predicted future shapes your lived one. 8. Search engines and information reality. Search engines rank information according to predictive models of relevance. Research in behavioral science shows users overwhelmingly click on top-ranked results, even when lower results are equally accurate. If an algorithm predicts which information is most useful, it effectively determines which information becomes most visible. Visibility drives legitimacy. Legitimacy drives consensus. Consensus shapes social belief. When ranking becomes reality, epistemology, the study of knowledge, becomes algorithmic. 9. Large language models as cognitive infrastructure. Large language models are not just tools. They are pattern amplifiers. They are trained on vast corpora of human text, learning statistical relationships between words and ideas. When millions of people rely on similar systems to draft emails, write code, summarize news, and generate arguments, subtle convergence begins. Language standardizes. Framings repeat. Certain narratives become default outputs. If AI predicts the most statistically likely continuation of thought, it may privilege dominant cultural patterns over novel ones. The result? Cognitive homogenization. The prediction of language begins shaping language itself. 10. Probability versus possibility. AI systems operate probabilistically. They optimize for what is most likely. But human progress often emerges from what is improbable. When institutions increasingly rely on predictive systems, risk tolerance narrows. Investment favors forecastable returns. Media favors predictable engagement. Policing favors statistically reinforced patterns. The space of possibility contracts toward what models already understand. The future becomes an extrapolation of the past. And novelty becomes statistically invisible. 11. Can we design different futures? The observer effect of AI is not destiny. It is architecture. Predictions influence reality, but only because we allow systems to act on them without reflection. The solution is not to abandon AI. It is to design with awareness. Transparent models. Independent auditing. Diverse training data. human oversight in high-stakes systems. And perhaps most importantly, a cultural shift from blind optimization to conscious governance. Because every predictive model encodes assumptions. Every ranking encodes values. Every forecast carries power. And when machines predict our future at scale, we must decide whether we are being described or being directed. The next time an algorithm predicts what you will watch, buy, believe, or become, because the future may not simply be unfolding. It may be calculating itself around you. And the most important prediction of all is what we choose to do about it.